What's up guys, Kelly McKay here, aka HVAC Millionaire, right here on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, hit the like button, and leave me a comment below. Today I'm going to talk about 20 different things that are needle moving activities that you can do in your business to make a big difference, make a big impact, to grow your company. I love these things. They're the things that we call hard, often aren't hard. And let me explain. What's really hard is like having to, do a compressor replacement on a rooftop unit where you have to climb two 30-foot ladders. You got to rope up all your stuff, your equipment, your tools, your compressor. You've got to walk over 150 yards, and it's the middle of July. You got to have a bucket of water to cool your tools off, and while you're baking in the sun trying to get this compressor replaced. That is hard, right? The stuff that we're talking about, easy. So oftentimes the things that we avoid just because they're uncomfortable are actually much easier to do than the physical stuff that we're doing out in the field that we shouldn't be doing as a business owner. So let's talk about it. The number one thing that you can do in any business to really move the lever, to pull the lever, to make big changes, to have a bigger impact, to create more opportunity for yourself, your family, and the team members who join you, is raise your prices. First thing, raise your prices. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to go out and sell a $600 capacitor replacement. The people who are doing that, I believe, should be shut down. It should be illegal. Like, flat out, I'm just going to say it should be illegal. It's bullshit, right? So I would never ask anybody to do that. But if you want to get a 600 average ticket, well then what else could benefit the customer, right? So it's not always about just continuing to raise the price. Sometimes it's about the number of items that we sell on each and individual job. And oftentimes there's always something else that this system could use to create a more safe, a more reliable, a more efficient, or to create a more comfortable system for the homeowner. So, but you gotta either raise your prices or you need to raise the amount of service that you offer and deliver to your customers so that you can collect more money. Like when it comes to raising prices, really what we're doing is we're collecting more money for the growth and expansion of our company. The second thing is holding employees accountable, right? So oftentimes during the early stages of a business, and because it was a fight to get people to just join our team, we let too many things slide. The top elite companies are not letting a bunch of stuff slide. These are like, micromanaging gets a bad name, but in the heating and air conditioning industry, it's not required for every single employee, but most employees it's required. If you expect them to do what's asked, and the only reason we're asking them to do certain things is because we know the outcome that it produces. And that outcome is positive for the business. And anything that's positive for the business is positive for everybody who works for the business. So holding people accountable can be tough in the beginning, and it's going to create waves. You're going to rock the boat. If you've had no accountability and you introduce accountability, it's going to rock the boat. I can promise you. But I can tell you, if you want to get to the next level in your company, it's the only way. You got to hold people accountable. Now, in order to hold people accountable, we'll go to the third thing, which is following a process consistently. You have to have a process developed, and you have to have KPIs, which is on this list also. So the people have to have KPIs, a standard to adhere to. They got to know what their roles and responsibilities and what their KPIs are. And then they have to follow a process consistently, because we know if we follow the process, it will get us to the KPIs that are required for that position, right? So raising prices, holding employees accountable, following a process consistently, tracking weekly KPIs. All of those things have to happen. Next thing is learning sales and communication. I see with business owners, because I've coached a lot of business owners at this point, they want to delegate this. They want to hire a sales trainer to come in and train their team for a week, pay them thousands upon thousands of dollars, and then that person leaves. And now, productivity or sales may spike for a week or two, but then they fall right back to where they were. And that's because somebody has to continue to carry that torch. You can't just expect somebody to come in and fix everything. Nobody's coming to save you in your business. No sales trainer is going to save you. No branding project, rebranding your company or getting a brand for that's not going to save you. I know there's like a false belief about this stuff out there. It's not going to save you. The only person who's going to save you is you. So you have to carry the torch. You got to continue the communication. If you're going to hire a sales trainer, you're the one who has to continue to carry the torch when they leave. Or else you're just going to wind up right back where you started. And look, the average lifespan of like somebody staying on your company is typically like 3 to 5 years. You might have a few that may stay with you like 10 years or longer, but most of the people that you begin the business with are not going to be with you by year 10. So just understand that you bring somebody in, you better plan on bringing them in every single year if that's going to be your strategy. Otherwise, it's up to you. It's up to you to carry the torch. It's up to you to learn this stuff yourself and begin training them yourself and continually training throughout the year. Next thing is delegating instead of trying to control everything. Look, you are one person. There's only so many hours in a day, and your mental health is at stake here. Your also could be physical health as well if you're still in the field. You've got to solve this problem. You've got to learn how to delegate, and you've got to get things off your plate. You got to use what I call the CADE model, K-A-D-E. So the CADE model is there are going to be some things that you cannot delegate, right? Those are the things you keep. That's what the K stands for. Everything else that you're not going to keep needs to be automated, delegated, or eliminated completely, and you're just not going to focus on them right now. Next thing on the list, marketing consistently. Marketing consistently, just start with like the major platforms. Could be just Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, right? Could be YouTube also. Those four platforms. If you could just maintain your posting in those 4 platforms for your company, for your business, then the hardest part about content is just staying consistent. What we do is we start off and we'll post 4 or 5 things of content, say Monday, and then Tuesday comes around, we post 2 or 3, then Wednesday we get busy. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday gets skipped. Monday, Tuesday of next week gets skipped. Then we say, oh crap, I need to market, and then we'll do Wednesday and Thursday. If we could just stay more consistent, and there's numerous ways to do this that will require very little of your time. You can even do batching to where you get all these posts ready to go and just schedule them to go out automatically. But you got to take some time to do that, and you need to do it every single week or at least once a month and schedule out the entire month. It's completely up to you. It has to stay consistent. Another thing that we can do is invest in coaching and education. Some of the things that we need to implement, we may need a little bit of help implementing those things. It helps to be able to talk to other business owners. It helps to be able to, it's another way for you to grow and expand as a person and grow to expand as a business leader. And it's required. I learned years ago, Brian Tracy said that you need to invest at least 3% of your income every single year if you want to guarantee your future. Well, I wanted to guarantee my future, so I began this. As soon as I learned that, I began investing. And at the time, I didn't have much money, so all my investment was just in books, the cheapest thing I could get. Then I later graduated to courses, and then I later graduated to hiring coaches myself. So, but you have to invest. If you want to guarantee your future, it's going to require an investment. Next thing is hiring before you're desperate. If you knew you were swamped last summer and you have the same amount of people before you're going into this summer, that's a challenge. That's going to be a challenge, going to be a problem. The biggest problem is that you're going to quite possibly burn out the rest of your team members or burn out yourself. And you don't want that for them, and I don't want it for you. So knowing what that demand is going to look like based on past data, that's incredibly important information for you to understand and know as a business owner, so that you know and can prepare for what's coming, which means hiring and getting more people on your team before it actually gets here, so you're ready and prepared to capitalize on the harvest season during the summer. Next thing is working on the business instead of only in the business. Almost everything we've been talking about is working on the business, or working on the business instead of in the business, which is what we want. We want to spend slowly. We're going to shift to where you're in the vehicle all day long. You're running calls, sales appointments, all that stuff all day long. We want to gradually get to the point where all of our time goes to focusing just on working on the business instead of in it. And how you do that is begin. Like, you got to start. So in the very beginning for me, I just started scheduling service calls that were for me, right? Where I could come back to the office and I could work for an hour and a half to 2 hours on something that needed to be improved. And then I would go run my other calls if I had other calls to do. Or I would see how the day went, and maybe I could send a different technician to one of those other calls. But I had to make time. You don't have the time not to make time. If that means that you can't get to every single customer today, so be it. The business is far more important than one customer. Next thing on the list, reading and understanding financials. That means we have to have our financials in order first. So the first 5-6 years of my business, my financials were a mess. And if that's you, the first order of business come as soon as you watch this video is to get your financials in order. Pay whatever it takes to have somebody, an accountant, a CPA, or just a bookkeeper, have them get all your stuff in order so that you can begin. And then from that point forward, that data is going to be entered on a regular consistent basis into your QuickBooks or whatever accounting software you're using. You're going to move that stuff in there so that you can get clean financial reportings every single month. So you got to learn how to use it, and you also have to have access to it. So every single month on a particular date, say the 10th or the 5th or the 12th or the 14th, you're always going to get the profit and loss statement from the previous month. This way you're not like just finding out if you made any money by the end of the year. You can actually make adjustments throughout the year to ensure that you're profitable, to ensure that there's money left over, based on what you're seeing after you learn how to read those financials. Next thing is asking for reviews. This is huge, because when you ask for reviews, I just was doing some research for this big project I'm working on that I can't wait to release in the future here. Every single review that you collect, industry data has shown that it's worth $300 to $1,000 of annual revenue for your business. So imagine that, like every 500, let's say you get 500 reviews, 500, and let's use the low end. I'm going to say each review is roughly worth $400 to your company. That's $200,000 in revenue. That's going to be generated consistently over and over every single year, just based off your reviews, your 5-star reviews. So we have to make collecting reviews a priority. And in order to make them a priority, we got to actually start asking our customers for them. And there are numerous ways to set this up. There are numerous ways to ask for the review, but you need to figure that out. What is the process? And then you need to begin doing the necessary work, which is asking for it. Make it part of your service call process. It's that simple. We've got training the team weekly. Yes, I would go as far as to say daily. We implemented what's called daily huddles. It could be anywhere from a 5-minute meeting to a 20-minute meeting, depending on what the day was like and how fast we needed to get out of the shop. But every single day we're training on something. There are endless topics to train on. You don't need to overcomplicate this and have some filled out schedule about what you're going to train on what days. Like, there's numerous things, and things pop up every single week that can be great topics to talk about in a meeting. So every single day, I highly recommend doing daily huddles, and then you could have one day a week, let's say, that is a specific training. It could be a technical training, a communication, a sales training, something that's going to move the needle in your business. You're never finished training. You're constant, never-ending improvement. I've got a tattoo on my arm that says that up here, right there, constant and never-ending improvement, because it became a mantra for me, and it needs to become a mantra for you. Next up is letting go of toxic employees. Now, oftentimes when you introduce accountability, when somebody just refuses to follow a process, then they will eliminate themselves. Like, they will take themselves out of the game. They are going to show their true colors if you haven't seen them yet. But if you have that person that maybe sells a lot for your company and you're afraid to get rid of them because you're afraid you're going to lose all that revenue, like, don't. Everybody on the team is replaceable, and it's surprising that one bad apple can ruin the entire bunch. But that's how it works. They will infect the rest of your team members. Now you've got, instead of just one person with a bad attitude, you've got 3 people, 5 people, 10 people with a bad attitude. As soon as you spot a toxic attitude, you've got to call it out, correct it, and if it doesn't correct, the next time you've got to move them or get them off the bus, whatever you need to do. But you cannot have that continue in your company. So do it. Like, make the move. Get rid of them. Don't worry about the revenue. Promise me, the rest of your team will pick up the pace, and your entire team and your culture will be better when you get rid of the toxic people. Next thing, building maintenance agreements consistently. So as part of your KPIs that you introduce in your business, you want to continue to build maintenance agreements, because, man, 60 to 70% of all the revenue that's going to be generated in your company is going to come from maintenance agreements. Like, that's how the elite companies are running, because these people already know, like, and trust you. You're already in their home a couple of times a year. So you've created a relationship with these people. You've got to stay focused on building those maintenance agreements. And I can tell you, when we got busy during the summer, a lot of times we would stop asking. And so I had to constantly bring it up on a daily basis in our daily huddles. Like, we have to offer maintenance agreements, because now we're doing more call volume, quite possibly, but we're collecting less maintenances, which doesn't make sense. The only reason that would be happening is because we're not offering them. So you got to stay on top of that. It's called leadership fatigue. Like, there's going to be lots of things in your business that you repeat over and over and over again because it's necessary. It's required. Like, you're going to get sick of it. And I joke about it in my book. If you guys haven't read my book yet, HVAC Millionaire, I joke about it in my book, and I'm like, how many times do you have to say it? Again. That's the answer. Again, grab this book. It'll change your business. It's actually, I know it's thick, but it's a quick read. The numbers are, the text is large enough that you'll get through it a lot faster than you think. And it's just packed with all kinds of information you'll use in your business. Okay, next up, following up on unsold estimates. I believe the trades are one of the worst businesses when it comes to follow-up, because we always believe that the customer either went with somebody else, or our price was too high, or some other wild made up story that we tell ourselves. The truth is, most people did nothing. And if we would just follow up with those people, maybe answer any unanswered questions that they may have, talk about the investment if it is about the money, get it out on the table and talk about it. You will close more sales. Your business will expand rapidly, but you got to be willing to do those things. You got to have a system, just like we create processes within our service call process or our sales process. We need a system for follow-up that everybody understands or one person owns to make sure that it gets done on a consistent basis. The next thing we need to do is create systems and SOPs, which we've been talking about this multiple times. SOPs are standard operating procedures. And look, you need a standard operating procedure for everything, from opening the shop in the morning, closing, vehicle maintenance, right? Vehicle cleanliness, inventory for the vehicles, quality control processes, dispatch processes for the CSR, outbounding processes. We need processes for everything. It's the only way we create something that's consistent. You know, the reason I can go to a McDonald's in Michigan or visit a McDonald's in Maui and order the same thing and get the same thing off the menu is because of processes. That's what we want to create with your business. That's what makes businesses scalable. The next thing is saving cash instead of spending everything. Whew, this is a big one. Every time summer would hit for years and we had an influx of cash, I would find ways to spend that cash, right? And it's because you start to think like, this is the way it's going to be. We're doing awesome. We're crushing it. And so I made a lot of stupid financial decisions just because we were in the harvest season. Instead of that, I want you to consider saving it. Just leave it in the business bank account, like grow it. You should have, make it a goal of yours to know what your total expenses are per month. Make it a goal to have 6 months of expenses or more sitting in your bank account at all times. Anytime it goes below that, you work hard to build it back up to that. And anything above and beyond that, well then maybe give yourself a bonus or treat your team to some crazy experience. Do whatever you need to do, but you got to save the money. Don't just spend it frivolously, right? Just because you're busy at the moment, in the moment. Next thing is having difficult conversations quickly. And I talked about this with the one bad apple spoils the bunch. As soon as you recognize some horrible behavior, you've got to call it out. And once you call it out, there's a standard that we hold in the business, and that's not what they're upholding with the bad attitude. So you've got to call that gap out. Like, here we are. Like, here's what I'm seeing. Here's what the standard is for our business or our culture or our attitudes. What am I missing? What needs to happen for us to get to the standard and to maintain the standard so we can quit doing this, because we're not going to do this in the company. So being able to have those types of conversations with people, not being afraid to. Like, you can't go in scared that you're going to lose somebody, because they will feed off of that. Some people will use that to manipulate, and I know it's sad and it shouldn't be happening, but it's just people. People will do this. So you got to be strong, and you got to know that everybody on your team is replaceable. Just remember that. The next thing, and I'm going to end on this one, is admitting that they don't know what they need to learn yet. So you have to come to this place within your business, within your life, quite possibly, and just take full responsibility. 100%, like radical responsibility for everything in your life. Your relationship, If it's not going well, it's your fault. Your business growth isn't happening as fast as you want, it's your fault. Your health is not improving or getting better or maintaining, at least if you're super fit. That's your fault. Take responsibility. Take responsibility for the amount of money that's in your bank account. Take responsibility for every single bill that the business owes. Take full responsibility for the people on your team, improving their skills, improving their confidence, their courage, improving their technical ability, so that they can go out and provide one heck of a crazy awesome service to your customers. But you are the one that's responsible for this. So there you have it. I think there was 40 things, or no, what did I do there? 10, how many? 20 things. Just went through 20 different things that you can use in your business to move the needle, to get you to the next level. And if you'll just implement these things, just do some of the things. Like, you probably have a toxic person on your company right now who may need to be kicked off the bus. Do it. Watch what happens. I know it might feel scary and uncomfortable. And but all these things that I talked about, guys, they're not hard. They're not hard to do. It's just easier not to do it. So my job as a coach, as a consultant, excuse me, is to push you. A coach's number one job is to push you. So I'm going to push and prod and whip you across the back if I need to get you to move and make the moves necessary to get you where you want to go a lot faster in your business. I love you guys. I will see you on the next one. Go make money. Boom.